Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with some more information about 3.35, getting around Lorville, Hurston, its moons, purchasing ships in game. I wanted to address some of the more common questions that I see in my video comments and what I've seen around Spectrum and Reddit. .35 First Wave PTU for Star Citizen adds a huge gameplay area, but the PTU at the moment doesn't have much happening in these areas. They need to have regular missions spawning in here and populating Hurston and its moons and the space around it. This should be done for the live build. When this is in, be very careful about accepting missions, as you don't want to take one that's all the way at Crusader if you want to stay around Hurston, if you see what I mean. So just read the mission carefully. Hopefully a range filter on your missions will be a thing shortly, and they'll get the right amount of missions per area, sort of like coming in and refreshing, because we don't want to be entirely out of missions. It is possible that 3.35 will go straight to a live build without it going live to everyone on the PTU first. This is going to be based on stability and performance of the PTU over the next few days. Lorville is very clunky performance-wise at the moment. There's a lot of problems with NPC generation and them becoming unresponsive. It's the same with the mission givers, they become unresponsive. And with ships not being spawnable at the starport at Lorville, among other things that all need to be solved before we have a live build anyway. Landing at Lorville. So Lorville has a no-fly zone around it, but not completely all over it. If you stray too far into the no-fly zone there, which is, you have to be relatively close, I suppose, it will kill you. But also, there is a starport in the centre where it wants you to land, where you're supposed to land. Eventually, you are supposed to, obviously, call Lorville Spaceport, bam, and then land there. But at the moment, in the current build, the First Wave PTU build, that's not working properly, so they want you just to land there. And if you want to avoid the zone of death, just literally point your ship straight down into the centre of Lorville, and you will sort of start to see a starport there. So it is the flat area in the middle. There are little hovering, flashing beacons over it that will help guide you in as well. The city will also pulse red and give you a warning beep to show where it doesn't want you to be. But as long as you're sort of like in that centre, you'll be fine. In the main lobby section of the starport, there are lifts that go to each of the hangars that will allow you to get to your ships, and spawn terminals. Now, at the moment, Lorville is not cleaning up the ships that land there properly, and those spawn terminals aren't working properly. Obviously, that problem is connected, but that effectively means that you are stuck in Lorville once you land there until they fix that, or you use a service beacon to get someone else to rescue you, or you ask for rescue, basically. There are spawn terminals for ground vehicles at each of Lorville's 6 gates as well. So getting around Lorville, a train system connects all major parts of Lorville together: the Workers' District, otherwise known as L19, the Starport, and the 6 gates. Everything is incredibly well signposted and colour-coded. If you treat it like an airport, you should be fine. Trains will go to a single destination point, and then travel back to the point where they just came from. They don't continue to multiple stations, at least not yet. Lorville is broken up into L19, the Workers' or Residential District. This area contains, at the moment, the Salvage and Reclamation area with mission giver Clovis Darneely, bars, shops, the Hab block where you'll spawn if you had Lorville as your last visited location. There is also a hospital here for respawning if you should die, but at the moment it's actually blocked off. So not in 3.35, maybe in 3.4. The starport is another area connected by train, which also contains the new deal shop, the lobby, and the way that you would spawn and land your ships and all that sort of jazz as well. It also looks like part of the lobby will go on to eventually having Genesis Starliners take people around the planet and to other planets and moons and stuff nearby as well. So it's going to have that more consumer sort of commercial flight aspect there as well. The rest of the city locations are 6 gates which lead on to different biomes. Each of these gates of Lorville requires you to get on the right train, so look at the signage before you get on one. They take you to, as I said, various exit points, which typically lead out onto different types of biome sort of additions to Lorville in the future. We'll see the opening up of the business district there, which will be accessible via the train. This was actually teased, as someone said on Reddit, ages ago on Sandy's Twitter page. Multi-tools. So multi-tools are available to buy in one of the shops in the L19 Workers District. Multi-tools will eventually allow us to open and hack ship's doors. After a certain amount of time, they will sort of like weld them open or whatever. They're hacking tools, effectively. There has been an override prompt seen on locked doors in 3.3.5 as well. Ship prices, which are commonly asked about. So ships are available to purchase in 3.3 with Teach's Ship Shop. And in 3.35, there is a new shop at Starport at Lorville. New deal. The current prices of ships at Teachers are: a Dragonfly will cost you 75,000 Alpha UEC, a Buccaneer 1.1 million, a Cutlass Black 1.55 million, an Aurora LX 220,000, an Aurora LN 367,000, an Aurora CL 496,000, a F7C Hornet 1.5 million. The Prospector will cost you 1.26 million. There is also a Tumbrel Cyclone that's supposed to be purchasable at Teachers, but it's not purchasable or working properly yet. The prices at New Deal on Lorville are the Aurora LX for 220,000 again, the Mustang Beaters on sale there for 391,000, the 85X 616,000, the M50 700,000, the Prospector 1.6 million again, the Constellation Phoenix 6.1 million, and the Hammerhead 21.4 million. The prices may change in the shorter term, but they will also be adding the Vantage Ship Rentals shop to allow for renting of ships from Lorville's spaceport and potentially other areas in the verse. Now, this might come with 3.35. We're hoping it is. That's what it was suggested at the CitizenCon keynote speech. But we'll have to wait and see. There are the kiosks for them in the spaceport at the moment. These prices will eventually be dynamic when it comes to ship sales and change based on various economic factors. Land vehicle purchases or rentals need to be added to Lorville ASAP, in my opinion. Players in the PTU are given 5 million Alpha UEC for the duration of the PTU to help out with the functionality of purchasing ships, making sure that works, basically. Ships bought with Alpha UEC persist on your account until they reset the Alpha UEC and things purchased with it. This is typically every 3 months and can be claimed on insurance as well. So if you lose your ship that you've just bought from Teachers, you can claim it on insurance. It's not just a lost rentals. We're not entirely sure exactly how they're going to work. Biomes on Hurston. So at the moment on Hurston, there are a few biomes in addition to the Lorville City biome. There's Savannah, water with polluted coastline, quarried and mined areas, acidic, junk trash biomes, and wasteland. And the wasteland is the largest percentage of the planet, at around 30 to 40% of the planet being wasteland. Animals on Hurston. So Xiphopods, or Oni crabs, are going to be among some of the wildlife found on Hurston. They are native to Lear 1 in the Lear system, though, but they've migrated to Hurston, and these sort of things are basically like rats, but they float, floating rats. We actually saw work on these and them floating around at CitizenCon 2017 on Hurston. We don't have an ETA for animals being added to Hurston and the game yet, though, but more on that as we know more. Moons. So Hurston's 4 moons will be populated similarly to other moons that we have in 3.3 with outposts and derelicts. Expect procedural mission content to fill these areas, as well as outposts to buy and sell commodities and scramble races. Just similar stuff to what we already have, expanded out to those new areas. This will give you access to similar missions that we have around Crusader without having to travel 6 to 12 minutes in quantum travel each time. Each of the moons basically has a single biome at the moment as well. It's been confirmed as well that the distance travelled in Quantum Drive is heavily affected by the actual drive you are using. So it is down to the individual drive rather than the hull of the ship. So there's various quantum drives that you can buy from size 1 to size 3 at the moment in-game. The Siren, the Goliath, the Drift, all the different named ones for the size 1 ones. Now, size 1 drives will get you to Port Olisar. They're around between 11.5 to 15 minutes. And then you've got the size 2 drives, which will get you there from between 7 to 8.25 minutes. And then you've got the size 3 drives, which will get you there between sort of 4.5 to 6 minutes sort of time frame. So it's really good to see that each of the different drives does actually get you there differently, and it's not the actual hull of the ship that's driving it, it's the actual item, the actual quantum drive. In the comments below, I'll put the stats that someone made on Reddit for each of those drives, so you can see them if you are so interested. And you can also plan, oh, I want to upgrade my ship with a new quantum drive to get me around the verse quicker, especially if you're traveling for some reason between Hurston and Crusader regularly in the short term. There was a question on Spectrum from Protest Rift about LOD blending and moons and that sort of jazz. So playing in 3.3 live recently, I had a thought about levels of detail when I saw a lot of pop-in flying down to a moon's surface. I wondered if it was possible to fade in and out LODs to effectively mask the pop-in effect so it's not so abrupt. I did a quick search and found a few videos that demonstrate the concept. Is this possible with Star Citizen's planetary terrain? Would it make the terrain look like it's warping? I'm assuming it would be more costly since 2 LODs are rendered simultaneously during the transition. Divi CIG answered the question. There are 2 separate things you might be referring to. One is the draw distance for procedurally placed assets, and how wrong settings can cause them to pop in instead of fade in smoothly. I'm fairly certain there is a bug report for it already, as I've seen my seating neighbour tweak settings for assets on the moons a few days ago. The other is a soft fade between different levels of detail, which we do have for manually placed assets, but not for procedural ones. And the reason is indeed the doubled rendering cost for the fading. We might be able to reevaluate whether or not we can add that for procedural assets as well, but no promises. I'm very much in the opinion that the popping in of assets is something that does really need a bit of love. Star Citizen looks amazing, especially when you're coming down from orbit to surface, and getting those levels of detail and blending between them right will make for a much better experience. But please tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on Hurston, Lorville, Alpha 3.35? Are you looking forward to the live build? Were you surprised that it came out to, Ivicardi and wider PTU so quickly? Do you think rentals will go a long way to allowing players to try ships and make more Alpha UEC to purchase them? Do you think it's worthless to try and purchase a ship if they're going to be reset every 3 months, especially if you're spending 21 million Alpha UEC on trying to get a hammerhead and it gets deleted the next week? Do you think in-game ship prices are too high or too low? GIF comments below. If you don't have Star Citizen yet, be sure to create an account with the links below to receive 5,000 UEC, the in-game currency, as a bonus, and to participate in any free flight. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For November, I am giving away a Saber Raven, Star Citizen game package, and a CitizenCon 2948 digital goodies pack. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details below. If you would like to further support the channel, the links to my Patreon and donations are down in the description below as well. If you are considering getting or upgrading your gaming PC for Star Citizen or any other game for that matter, instead consider the Shadow Cloud gaming service. It's a subscription-based service that leverages your internet connection to turn any appropriate device, whether it be an old PC, smartphone, tablet, and more, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming PC. It's been working well in the latest 3.3.0 PTU patch of Star Citizen. I'm going to try and maintain a best practices guide on my website as well. More information is available in the links below, and if you do decide to try it, use the code BoredGamer to get a discount. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the verse.